In 1983, a group of South London armed robbers broke into a warehouse expecting to find a few million in cash, but they walked right into a literal wall of gold.
How much gold are we talking about here? Like a few suitcases?
Try 3 tons, over 6,000 pure gold ingots. It was so heavy that the tires on their getaway van almost popped, and the sheer scale of that haul ended up changing the world of international crime forever.
That sounds like a winning lottery ticket that comes with a death warrant. I'm guessing they didn't just walk into a bank and deposit it.
To understand how this happened, you have to look at the Brinks-Mat security depot near Heathrow Airport. In the early 80s, security was more about who you knew than high-tech sensors.
Let me guess. They had a guy on the inside?
Exactly. A security guard named Anthony Black was the key. His brother-in-law was a well-connected criminal named Brian Robinson, who tipped off a crew led by a man named Mickey McAvoy.
So they were targeting this specific warehouse because they thought it was easy pickings?
Right. They thought they were stealing about 3 million pounds in foreign currency. On the morning of November 26th, Black let the 6-man team into the side door.
Was it a professional Ocean's 11 style job?
Not even close. It was brutal and low-tech. They doused the other guards in petrol and threatened to light them on fire if they didn't open the vault combinations.
That is terrifying. But then they open the door, and it's not paper cash inside.
It was 30 million pounds worth of gold. At today's prices, that's nearly 100 million. They spent 2 solid hours just dragging the bars into a Ford Transit van.
Okay, so they get the gold home, but you can't exactly spend a gold bar at the grocery store. How do you hide 3 tons of the world's most traceable metal?
That's where the heist ends and the hustle begins. The robbers realized they were out of their depth, so they called in the professionals.
I'm guessing these weren't the guys with the petrol cans.
No, enter Kenneth Noy, a logistics expert who basically ran a DIY refinery in his backyard. He smelted the gold in a hidden outbuilding, mixed it with copper coins to change the purity, and recast it into new, untraceable bars.
So they literally laundered the metal itself? That's brilliant in a twisted way.
It gets worse, or better, depending on who you ask. Most of that new gold went through a legitimate dealer in Bristol owned by John Palmer. He became known as Goldfinger because he'd sell the recast gold back into the legitimate market, creating a cycle of clean, untraceable cash.
But the police aren't stupid. They must have noticed 3 tons of gold missing from the national supply.
Scotland Yard's flying squad was all over it. Within days, they arrested Anthony Black, the inside man, who immediately cracked and named names. Mickey McAvoy and Brian Robinson were behind bars shortly after, but they wouldn't say where the gold was.
So if the bosses are in jail, the money is still out there. Who keeps the keys?
That's when things got violent. In 1985, an undercover officer named John Fordham was conducting surveillance on Kenneth Noy's mansion. Noy found him in the garden and stabbed him to death.
Did they finally nail him for that?
Shockingly, no. Noy claimed self-defense and a jury acquitted him of murder, though they did find 11 gold bars on his property. He eventually went down for conspiracy to handle the gold, but the investigation was just the start of what people call the curse of Brinks-Mat.
The curse? Is this some haunted treasure stuff? Or just classic mob greed?
It's body counts. Over the next 30 years, at least 20 people connected to the gold were murdered. We're talking about enforcers disappearing, financiers being gunned down in their driveways, and even John Goldfinger Palmer being assassinated by a professional hitman in 2015.
So after 40 years, do the police have the gold back?
Not even half of it. It's widely believed that if you bought gold jewelry in the UK after 1983, there's a good chance you're wearing a piece of the Brinks-Mat haul.
That's a wild thought. But beyond the jewelry, what did this heist actually change?
It forced the world to grow up. Before Brinks-Mat, money laundering wasn't really a thing law enforcement understood. This case created the blueprint for modern anti-money laundering laws and specialized financial crime units.
It's like the criminals and the cops both had to level up at the same time.
Exactly. It also fueled the London property boom of the late 80s. Rumor has it that much of the development in the London Docklands was funded by laundered gold profits. The heist literally helped build the modern skyline of London.
So the robbers got caught, the associates got murdered, but the gold just melted into the economy.
It became part of the furniture. It's the ultimate example of how a simple robbery can ripple through a society for decades.
That is a lot to take in. What's the one thing to remember about the Brinks-Mat robbery?
It was the crime that transformed low-level street thugs into international financiers, leaving a trail of blood and untraceable gold that we are still walking over today.
That's Wikipedia. Every story on demand. Search your next topic at wikipedia.ai.